Hello, this is Jay from Cucumber Shop talking about compost and how to grow the best garden with your compost. So this is some compost that's unfinished. Well, some of it's really good, high quality. There's some worms in there, a lot of good stuff. I usually sift it out, nice and black and smells real good. But I usually sift it out before I put it in the garden. So after sifting it out, a lot of times in the past I have utilized liquid fertilizer, and I've gone from chemical fertilizer over time to fish emulsion, a more organic type of fertilizer. Now here you can see some spotting on here. That is not from any kind of disease, that is from the pool. Kids splash chlorine water on my plants, and my plants do not appreciate it, and they get spotting. So if you see any spotting near the bottom, that white spotting, that's chlorine spots from some bleaching on the leaves. So what I wanted to talk about was, with these plants here, we have a lot of healthy, good growth, and a lot of this is because of the compost, yes, but some of it is because I added some liquid fertilizer, some liquid nitrogen fertilizer in the form of fish emulsion on here. But not just that I added it, it is that I added it to the compost when I put it in. And it seems as if when you have compost and you have liquid nitrogen fertilizer, the compost increases the holding capacity of the nitrogen in the soil to enable the plants to utilize it longer, because of the bacteria and the fungi and everything else in the soil, in the compost specifically, to be able to help the plants to grow. And so you get, what happens if you add fertilizer, liquid fertilizer normally, is you often get disease as a result. You get a lot of the bad bacteria take over. And the plants can't grow the way that they need to, and so then you have a lot of bad things happen as a result. But if you have a higher holding capacity of the liquid fertilizer in there, it won't leach through the soil, and it will last a lot longer, and the plants will be able to uptake it, because oftentimes the nitrogen doesn't go straight to the plants, or if it does, they stop supporting the life in their roots, and then the bad bacteria come in and kind of take over. So you want good bacteria in your soil, good fungi in your soil. So you want to make sure that there's plenty of compost, plenty of finished compost, that is. And if you're going to add a liquid fertilizer, I highly suggest you add it to the compost, either before you add it to your garden or when you add it to your compost to your garden. But do not just add liquid fertilizer to your garden. I do not think that that's a wise idea, because oftentimes that leads to more problems in the long run, more disease, more issues than that. So if you're gardening organically, I highly suggest the time to add the liquid fertilizer, or water-soluble fertilizer, is when you add your compost. That will greatly increase the holding capacity of the fertilizer and greatly increase the plant vigor and health. I mean, these guys are just, they're going crazy. And I just added the fertilizer at the beginning of the season with all the well-finished compost, and they are doing fantastic. So that's my 2 cents on liquid fertilizer in the garden, as it goes, especially with liquid soluble fertilizer in the garden. Again, this is Jay from Cucumber Shop. Thanks, and happy gardening.